Good morning, boomers. The voice of the blockchain, Satoshi's big cousin, crypto's finest, Champagne Crypto. Thanks for tuning in. Unknown Spirit Being is here via YouTube. Stimp 1024 is here via D Live. I'm multi-streaming using Restream.io. If you're a live streamer, this allows you to push streams to multiple platforms, including Facebook, LinkedIn, and others. If you'd like to join, I have a link down below. Try it out. I enjoy using it. Right now, I'm only pushing this stream to YouTube and D Live. Make sure you're following me on D Live. I finally hit the 200 followers on D Live that I've been aiming at, and now we're able to unlock some features. I went and verified all the data that needed to be verified, and now I'm pending. So it may take up to 20 days, they're saying. So anyone out there on D Live, if they can speed up the process, let me know. And anyone out there that's listening via Theta, let me know. Shoot me the key so I can start streaming on Theta. I want to try that platform out. Anyhow, today we'll be talking about a rebound or crash. We saw some action at the end of last week where prices went negative. Beginning of this week, it was a bit of a sell-off going into this week. And then the day before yesterday, things started putting on some weight, and now we're kind of trading sideways. So what are we going to expect now? A rebound or a crash, or will we remain silent? And I'll tell you, I don't expect us to remain silent. There's a lot of volatility in this market, so I do expect of movement. And personally, I feel like in this environment with so much free funny bunny money, we could expect the volatility to continue to take us northwards, is what I'm saying. Let me know what your prediction is. I would expect a rebound. Maybe it doesn't happen today, but I thought, and I think actually this is true. My prediction was we would close higher this week. I was checking out CoinGecko, and Bitcoin's already up 1% in the past 7 days. So I believe we are going to close higher. Shout out to Lady Plants. Shout out to Stimp and the rest of the boomers out there. Let me turn off these coins and check out the charts. This is the Ether charts, 0.035 for Ether. And it looks like it's found some sort of a stable price here at 0.035. A low of 0.034, a high of 0.0358. So it's there. I think that ETH is worth at least 0.05. At least 0.05. Let me know what you think. Let's check out the Bitcoin charts here. And again, I'm getting messages offline and on comments on some of the videos asking, oh, when is it going to rebound? And guys, let's keep our eyes on the traditional stocks. If the stocks go down, the bits are going to go down in the short term, and vice versa. If they go up, so will the bits. I know we've been trained to think of crypto as, the inverse of fiat, but that's not always the case. Shout out to Ilcryptmatic. Ayo, we got Bitcoin there at 10,298, a high of 10,384, a low of 10,2. So it seems like it's above 10, which is always good. It's above 10, but technicals are still reading sell for the short term here. Let me hit refresh. Is it my internet that's a little slow, or what's going on out here? There we go. Let's go back here to the charts. Things are moving a little slow. 10,302, and then you can see the Bitcoin technicals are still reading sell for the 1 day. 1 week projections are still 1 week projections are looking good, but it seems like the technicals are still in the red for the short term, the very short term. So let's see. Let's keep our eyes on that. Let's take a look at the traditional markets here. I want to see how the 10-year yield is doing, and how the S&P, how the math over there for the gold and silver is doing. And then we'll run down my watch list. You know, I'm in an NVIDIA play. I know there's not a lot of boomers here that are stock friendly, but I'm in an NVIDIA put credit spreads. I've been doing the options with the traditional stocks, and NVIDIA's been treating me well. I'll tell you that much. Let's look at the math over here. We got indices reading for S&P 500 at 3363, up 0.71. Dow is in the green as well at 27,777, and crude holding on. Let's look at the metals. Metals slightly in the green, and look at the dollar, slightly in the red. So I mean, this is overall bullish. The bonds slightly in the red. That's not so good. I would expect things not to sell off, really. Like I was saying, I think we're going to actually end up closing higher. As far as Bitcoin, you could see, let me hit refresh. 7 days reading up 1%. So we're already up for the week. Not on Ether. Let's see who's doing good this week. Celsius is booming, up 16%. Shout out to Rafterman. I know that. Okay. Ontology's movie and Lend is doing well also. I'm new to stocks and crypto. A lot of others say stocks and crypto will crash soon. I can buy about 3 ETH, so I'm at high risk. I feel it's hard to lower average costs with little cash. Okay, so what's the point? You know, some people are saying it's going to crash. I'll tell you this. I mean, if the bank keeps printing up funny bunny money, I would expect that to increase the price of these assets. I feel it's hard to lower average cost with little cash. Well, I mean, you know, the less amount of cash you have, the harder it is sometimes to do things. But don't worry about how much you have. You know, figure out what you're going to do. What's the solution? What's positive out here? You know, how are you going to boom? I don't want to hear about the problems or about what's hard. What's easy? What could we do? You know, and we've been doing that out here, looking at the opportunities, waiting to snipe out whatever moves. And you got to be patient too. Shout out to everybody on D-Live. Let me check out the page here. We got 5 maniacs over here. Let me refresh. Make sure you're following me over here, because I'm passing out lemons. And I just cracked the 200 followers, which seems to be fun. Shout out to Athlete. He's showing up to bat all the time. I'll throw, man, this thing is going slow today. I'll throw a little bit of lemons here in the box. Thank you to Athlete for the ice cream. And you know what? Let's just go ahead and let her rip. Let's distribute the rewards right now. Click claim rewards on your end, guys. Athlete, the big winner. Christozilla's a winner too, and Stimp 1024. I appreciate it, all you guys. We got the regulars winning, but you know what? That's good. We got quality here. We got quality boomers here. Shout out to Crackpot, just followed. Christozilla donated an ice cream. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We do this every day. We're here every single weekday, Eastern Standard Time, somewhere in the mornings. I don't have a specific time because I don't have a boss, and you know, I come on when I feel like it, really, and that's every single day. Boom. You know what though? Let me be honest. Not all the time. I don't feel like it all the time, but I come on anyway. To keep it $1.50 with you guys, you got to show up to bat. You got to show up to bat. Sometimes I don't want to stream. I'll be honest with you, but you know, when I think about the boomers, and I think about how blessed I am to have this platform to speak to you guys. I never would have expected, really. I'll be leading the soldiers here to crypto victory. So you also got to be grateful for what you have and show up to bat. You know, I wouldn't want to turn my back on the platform. It's because of you guys that we've been able to learn so much. Each one teach one out here. Shout out to Christozilla, Athlete, Stimp 1024, and everybody else. I appreciate you maniacs. Boom. Let's check out the these articles. I was reading this one. Good for Bitcoin. U.S. Senate rejects stimulus without $1,200 checks. What's funny is that these guys are fighting about the stimulus and whether they're going to send money to the middle class or not. But none of them are arguing about the funny bunny money that's being pumped into these markets and into these corporations. It's truly corporate welfare. This is socialism for the rich. It's wild. You know, they're here fight. They can't come up with an agreement about, you know, sending another round of checks, but yet they're spending the equivalent to TARP money every single day. It's wild. So you guys could read this. The IRS is also offering over $500,000 bounty to anyone who could break Monero and Lightning. That should show you that Monero is pretty solid. Monero is the last true crypto on the block. Let's keep it a $1.50. Let's check out the math here and see who's winning and losing. Celsius is the big winner today. Neo, Yearn Finance keeps ripping. Yearn can't stop, won't stop. Yearn, $34,000 coin. Synthetics keeps moving. Look at Decentraland sneaking back into the top 100. Who's the big loser today? Ampleforth. Look, Ampleforth is super volatile. I mean, the other day it was at 230. I seen it at 60 cents. This thing is wild. Golem is up. Ocean Protocol. I've made some moves on this one. Sushi is being dumped. Algorand. Let's see. I don't have any specific plays that I'm looking at today. I don't really get into too many plays on Friday. I'll be honest with you. I like getting into my plays more like on Mondays, Tuesdays, no later than Wednesday. But let's see if any opportunities present themselves today. Ampleforth certainly looks like maybe an opportunity, but you know, I'm not really wild about this coin. At the beginning, I like the rebase idea, but you know, I don't see it as a hodler. In fact, I don't see any of these coins as hodlers besides Bitcoin and ETH, guys. To keep it a $1.50 with you guys, I don't see any of these coins as hodlers. Now, I'm looking at Chainlink and those that hodled Chainlink, and you know, I've been wrong about that. You know, I should maybe have hodled Chainlink, but it's still too much of a new young gun to put the whole bag on. You know, but definitely Chainlink and Binance have been the performers in the past couple of years that really stuck around. And let's see, you know, if they survive another couple of years, they're definitely on the path to being blue chippers. How about Crypto.com back in the top 10? And Monero always sticking around. Yearn Finance. Is Yearn Finance now the top DeFi coin? Yeah, look at that. The top DeFi coin. Yearn. UMA is number 2 now. Lend, number 3. Synthetics, number 5. Compound, number 6. I bought the dip on Compound. Let's see if it swings back around. You're seeing most of these DeFi coins are starting to put weight back on. Specifically, you know, look at Lend. Lend is not playing games. Up another 29% in the past 7 days. Yeah, Wi-Fi at it again. Yeah, Wi-Fi is ripping. And like I said, this kind of supports my idea that the DeFi coins come in sets. There's always like maybe 3 to 5 of them that are apparently always on the green, and they come in sets. So, you know, I would expect that idea, you know, with that train of thought, I would expect Compound to be amongst one of the next waves. You know, like Compound, maybe Loop Ring, maybe Ren. Ren is down 6% in the past 24. I know they were ripping just a couple days ago, so you know, they come in sets. Right now, the ones that are moving are UMA, Yearn, Synthetics, and maybe in a few days it'll be Loop Ring, Ren, and Compound or something like that. But yeah, I already took position on Compound, another move, and let's see if I can swing in and out of that one. I'll take a few more comments and questions. I'm going to keep this one short. and maybe I'll pop up on you guys on D Live. I've done a few of these things that make you go videos on D Live, where I take content that makes you go We've done some good ones. Never pay bills again. Apparently with the Fed thing. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me read this comment by someone. You know how I was talking about? Well, I had shared that video where the guy talks about how apparently, allegedly, there's a bond against your birth certificate. And so he was trying to buy stuff against his account. And he went on Amazon and put in the Federal Reserve banking routing number plus his social, and it went through. He got like a pair of tires or whatnot, but then they canceled his account. And let me be clear. I mean, I don't know the legalities of this or not, and I wouldn't be interested in messing with that, because that sounds like a red flag. But it's interesting to hear all this. And then someone made a comment in relation to that said that supported the claim. And let me read that comment. I'm going to pull it up by Phillips, M.A. Phillips. He's been frequenting the live streams recently. And he said, let me pull this up for you guys. Boom. It says, regarding the Social Security bank account information, it is true. There's a website called gmeiutility.org. I've known about it for years. It's true. We're worth billions, says it. Less if you're younger. The site used to be free when I first looked at it. Now you have to pay, but the country is broken down by 12 Federal Reserve banks. If you look carefully, all banks have a routing number, and they are the same attached to the Federal Reserve. When one was born, at least when I was, parents couldn't leave the hospital without having a social. For that moment, the government would buy bonds in our name, earning interest through the Fed. The value of those bonds will build over time. If you look at the bills that we receive, the letters in the circles correspond to the 12 central banks. For example, if you have a bill with A, it represents the bank from Boston. And in all likelihood, your social security number will start with 0 if you're born in New York. That's pretty true. The Fed bank notes letters would have the letter B, and your social would start with 1, and so on. Now getting into the GMEI site. If your social starts with 1, you enter that number within the utility, and you would get the routing number for the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. So let's say, for example, if you want to pay a bill which you said a person has tried, you would put the Federal Reserve Bank routing number and your social. In theory, you could pay the bill. That's what this guy did. But if anyone thinks they can get away with it, it's not going to happen. The banks can cancel the transaction in minutes. So it is true. We are worth a lot of money. What the government is doing with that money is another story. This is a comment by M.A. Phillips, someone that frequents the channel. And he's, I don't know what his sources are for his claims, but it seems to coincide with the claims made by the other dude on the video we were checking out, and some other claims that I've came across as well. Now, if I'm going to go ahead and start trying to charge things, I don't know. I'm not going to do that. But yeah, it's very interesting. There it is. Wall Street is where they traded slaves. Number 2, in order to estimate debt, they gave a white male assigned value, white female a value. That is a truth. Yeah, I know about that. Yeah, I've heard about that as well. So apparently, it's everybody's traded as slaves. Apparently, that's what the birth certificate is. It's a bond. So it's wild. The more you start looking into this, and you start going down these rabbit holes and understanding the legalese and the terminology, and it's a lot. It's a lot to consider. And you know what? Whether I can't verify it all, and I don't know whether it's all fact or it's all fiction or what's true or not, but it certainly makes you go, And that is the point of the series that we do on D Live. It's just to make you go home, just to consider it. So yeah, apparently that's how it's handled. The sovereign, according to the law, is not the individual, but the state. And that changed because at one point in the United States, the citizens or the population or the people were considered sovereign. Apparently now the system doesn't consider you a sovereign being. The state is sovereign. So it's interesting to research and learn more about And certainly just something to make you go, So make sure you're catching me over there on DLive. We play those types of videos. We've done a few of them. And, I may have to run one of the flat earth videos on you guys. I showed a couple of that. We've done the moon videos. We've done a bunch of stuff that makes you go, And whether it's all true or not, or a lie or not, it's just making you ask questions. But yeah, shout out to Phillips. I'm not sure if he's online right now, but I definitely caught your comment. I know it's a little late, but yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, but so this video I saw, apparently the guy, and he showed it, like he went on Amazon and it accepted it, and even showed the Federal Reserve logo when he says, please enter your bank information. So he's like, all right, here's my bank information. This is my social, my bank, the Fed, boom. And it popped up. But then apparently his account was canceled a few days later. So this is an interesting rabbit hole, and I would like to do more research and see what, lawyers in that field have to say. And I know this has specifically a lot to do with the Universal Commercial Code, the UCC. All right, guys, we've already gave up the lemons. Yes, we did. And I'll take another comment or three before I get out of here. I know we got a small little group today, but quality over quantity, you know the deal. The more research I do on Chainlink, the more bullish I become. Yeah, it's pretty solid. Like I was just saying a few moments ago, I mean, it's outperformed Bitcoin the last couple of years. There's been two coins specifically that have really stuck out. Have been Binance and Chainlink. Those two have definitely outperformed in the past couple of years, and they're top 10 coins right now, and they seem like coins that are going to stick around. So yeah, I think that Chainlink definitely shows promise. What up, champ? What up, copy? Level Up Life donated for Lemon. Thank you, Level Up. I appreciate that. My internet's running slow, so Level Up Life says, what about Sun? I had the JST token for a while. I made a move, but it wasn't, I didn't really make gains on it. I am interested to see what type of DeFi projects do sprout on Tron and how that goes. Only took 19 years for people to wake up. WTC Building 7 is finally trending on Twitter. Wow. Yeah, Building 7. We even have a meme right here. Building 7 didn't kill itself. Let me actually share that. And I should have mentioned 9/11, It's crazy. I used to work right down the block from 9/11. And always on my break, people would be out there, independent media, and people, it was always people out there, asking questions, tourists or whatnot. And I got to talk to a lot of people that were there on that day. I was actually working there a few years after the event occurred. But yeah, I was right up there, right off of Vesey Street, which is literally, you can walk to the monument. And it's what's interesting is that, being down there and being able to talk to people that were actually there on the day that it occurred, so many of those people told me that they heard explosions, that they heard the explosions coming from the building. And this is from, people that I spoke to on the ground. I wasn't there the day of, but, I feel pretty close to it because I knew a lot of the construction workers that were working on the Freedom Tower. Actually, I would do business with them. I had an account and whatnot. But anyhow, yeah, it's wild what happened out there. So Building 7 is trending. You got to ask yourself, how do 2 airplanes knock down 3 buildings? And what's interesting too, now that just came to mind, Jay Snip has a video that he released this morning that shared a clip of Donald Trump's interview the morning of September 11th. And you see Trump asking some questions like, oh, how could these buildings fall at free fall speed? They're made out of steel. You know that those buildings had steel wrapped around them on the outside. Everything was like, look at those windows. They're so thin is because everything's wrapped with steel, strong steel. And for those buildings to fall at free fall speed, it was wild. And he was even asking those questions the day of. So it's interesting. You may want to catch that. I thought I was watching a movie that day. Yeah. Far from it, though. Real life. So, yeah, that red pilled a lot of people. That was definitely, I think, this generation's JFK moment. But they've been pulling Funny Bunny since at least JFK. Is that, most of us weren't around back then. But they, moon landing, JFK, 9/11, there's a lot of Funny Bunny out there, guys. A lot of funny. And then, add Rona to that, obviously. And you start to connect the dots. The clarity of the caller stood out to me on that day. They said some of them, some were on their mobiles midair. Yeah, that's quite crazy. Yeah. Nothing makes sense with that. But anyhow, for those that our condolences to the family, because there's some people's lives were lost, and that's not a good thing. It actually looks like the explosion's over in that port. It was a detonation. I mean, you got to ask yourself. I mean, how could it fall at free fall speeds? You got to ask yourself that, just one question. There's a whole court case with the 9/11 architects or whatnot that they sued, and I think they won, or I don't know. There's a whole professionals that they're not believing the narrative. But yeah, I mean, I think that for so many that was a red pill moment. The Building 7, and it's funny what Original Copy just said. I can't believe it. It's actually trending now. I think maybe more people are starting to realize that there's something Funny Bunny going on after the Rona. Crypto Mike says, I got my key, but now I have to pay for it. Oh, you're talking about Theta? Yeah, then, forget about it. Forget about it. It looks like every last building takedown. Yeah, it does. I mean, look at what you see with your eyes and your ears. Don't believe or forget about. It's not about not believing or believing. Just ignore the authorities for a second and ask yourself, what do you see with your own eyes? You see a flat horizon, okay? You see a sun that is the same size as the moon, okay? You see the same patterns in the stars. Although they tell you you're spinning in I don't know, in this big hole, everything's spinning wildly, but yet there's a perfect order. They tell you that these two planes knocked down 3 buildings. There's a pandemic and there's millions that are going to die, but yet you walk outside and you don't see anybody sick. So, things to consider, guys. Read the book of Ecclesiastes. And, it drops knowledge on that sense of what what you could see under the moon and the stars with your own eyes and ears, what God gave you. Forget about all the other stuff. Like, what could you do with your own eyes and ears? What do you see? What do you take out of it? And, once you start trusting your own senses, you'll be quite surprised. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to keep this one short. Shout out to everybody. Crystal Zilla, Lady Plants, the Boomers. We passed out the lemons, and we looked at the math. Make sure you're following me on D-Live. I may pop up on you guys. Maybe I pop up on you guys right now. I don't know. Let me know if you guys want to. If you guys want more. If you guys want more. I may run those videos. Anyhow, shout out to you guys. I appreciate it. Have an excellent weekend. I'll catch you on Monday. It's the voice of the blockchain, Satoshi's big cousin, crypto's finest, Champagne. Thanks for tuning in.